Shawn Ray here in Santa Monica at the home base for the Ferrigno Legacy Championships. I'm joined by the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, his partner Chris Maness, as well as Louis Jr. We're headed into the fourth anniversary of the Lou Ferrigno Legacy Championships. Started out in Santa Barbara, moved to Palm Springs, and now it's expanding from a one-day event to a two-day event. Let's talk to the incredible one, Lou Ferrigno. Lou, when we started talking about 4 years ago, you were telling me how amazing your family was and the support system is, and you kind of watched what your arch rival nemesis Arnold Schwarzenegger had done for some 20-something years out there in Columbus, Ohio, and you kind of got stuck out in purgatory out in Santa Barbara. It wasn't the bodybuilding capital, and you switched over to Palm Springs, and now we've watched this thing kind of grow into its own entity, and you guys seem to have a well-oiled machine going on with the Ferrigno Legacy Championships. Tell us a little bit about the evolution of the competition as we head into our fourth year.
Well, what's great about Palm Springs is the great vacation resort. So when competitors compete, they can look forward to a nice vacation, having fun with their spouse, their family. But the interesting thing is that the show's gotten bigger and bigger. This is the first year we're having what you call the Flex Bowl. We're taking over the Palm Springs Convention Center, and we're having over 200 booths. And that's going to be one of the highlights of the entertainment. You're talking about the strongman competition. You're talking about the powerlifting competition, the prejudging, boots, supplements, T-shirts, I mean, all kinds of stuff. So not just the competition itself, people can walk around the expo, kind of like the Arnold Classic, and just have a good time and check out the latest and the supplement as far as health, fitness equipment. And I think it could be very exciting because even the whole town, Palm Springs, is behind us.
Yeah, and we started out there, Louis, out in Santa Barbara, and you're kind of joining in on the co-MC duties out there, and it's evolved now. You've got a lot more responsibilities as this competition has grown, and a lot more logistics, because you have the event at the Agua Caliente, and now you have the expo over at the convention center. Tell me a little bit about the dynamics of having to share times at two different venues on the same weekend.
Well, it's tough, but watching you do what you do was inspiring, and I picked up some of your tricks. But I think for a two-day event, it gives me some time to rest and space it out. But I tried to keep it as interesting as possible and fun for everyone while Chris is running himself to the ground and he's working himself down. So I try to be the voice and the spirit of the event and keep everyone engaged and fun. We all have our positions that we take, and we just hit it hard.
Yeah, and you have been hitting it very hard, Chris. You know, all too familiar with the hard work. You just had the championships out here, the West Coast Classic out in Riverside. How much easier is it now that you're in Palm Springs rather than Santa Barbara?
Well, it's a great location. I moved there specifically for the event, knowing Lou's vision. We talked about this becoming the Arnold West, and we're really seeing that coming to fruition this year in Palm Springs. And, what we're doing with this expo this year, probably 300 booths, but we're reinventing expos. So if you're coming there expecting an Olympia-style expo or Arnold-style expo, that's not what you're going to see. Yeah, we will have the traditional supplements, but we have things like food for fitness, a whole neighborhood for it, fitness technology. So you're going to see things that you've never seen before at expos, companies you've never seen before at expos. We have a luxury electric car company that's going to be involved, actually shuttling our pros from venue to venue. Just things that you've never seen. I think people are going to really enjoy this new experience.
Absolutely. As it continues to expand, we saw back in its original infancy, Ronnie Rocco, who just won the 212 championships. He dropped down a division. He won the first one out in Santa Barbara, and we saw Nathan Diasha come all the way over from England to be victorious. And you also had Josh Lenarkowitz come from Australia, so a very international field. I mean, Ronnie's German, Josh is from Australia, and you've got Nathan from England. It has very much got that international flavor to it, and yet you still have a lot of your colleagues coming out. I remember seeing Linda Murray there and Phil Williams out there and Samir Banu. Is there anybody in particular that you'd like to come out to your show in terms of calling your old school friends and colleagues to come and support what we're doing?
I just want all the bodybuilder diehard fans and fanatics to come because those are the one who makes the show. Including yourself. Thanks for you coming for my seminar. And also we have a very, very competitive promoter, Chris Minute, and all of us, because we're a great team here. We got a lot of support from the Arnold Classic, Arnold himself and Bob Lorimer, because they're behind us. Because we not just having the best show in the West Coast, we want to have a show that's unique, like Chris mentioned, that people come and have a good time. Because I know you go to different areas, different competitions, you deal with cold climate, cold weather, you have to travel overseas. But the nice thing about Palm Springs is that you go with a family, you're having fun. There's so much to see. You have the pool, you could use whatever, you could take the ride among the mountains. The Palm Springs is a great resort, and everybody that come before come again 3 years in a row. We've got 5 friends of mine, and they keep coming every year because they have a good time. So the important thing is, like what Chris mentioned about the flex boat, about all these different booths, that's so important because it's all about your health and new things to learn. And especially like if I was a kid and my parents took me to something like this, I probably wouldn't sleep for 2 weeks before.
Yeah, it's interesting, Louis Jr., that he mentions the whole family aspect, because you do Palm Springs in the month. You've changed the date, actually. It's in October, right?
This year is going to be in November.
Being the family environment, you've got golf. You've got the weather is perfect in the month of November, and it's right before the holidays coming up. What can you do in terms of getting people to go out there and actually stay longer than the contest? Because it is a family environment, right? So trying to get out there a little bit earlier, maybe stay a little bit longer. What are the hotels and the other things that can go on for the families?
They've been so helpful with us to provide accommodations for us in terms of having the pool, having the after party, having the music, just really making the hotel guests and everyone who comes through their doors feeling at home. I mean, the gambling is second to just Vegas. I mean, like, you have options to go out and do things that you can't do in LA. You can't do in many different places, and it being on Indian land, thanks to the Bandacoia Indians. I mean, they've been super helpful in giving us the most fun environment possible that we can have, and the whole town is behind us as well.
Well, Chris, let's get to the meat and potatoes, because we need the information. If the people are coming in from out of town, they want to come out and spend a great weekend out in Palm Springs, what do they have to do?
Well, you go to FerrignoLegacy.com. We're very thorough with the information there. Our host hotel is a Renaissance Hotel in downtown Palm Springs, and we moved the host hotel down there because that's where the expo is, of course. Then you have access to the tram. You can go hiking in the mountains. Beautiful downtown with shopping, restaurants, and, of course, the pool, as we all spoke about. But head over to FerrignoLegacy.com. The full schedule is there. You can register there. Of course, if you're a pro, get your info into Jim Mannion and get signed up right away.
Yeah, and it's an Olympia qualifier, I might add. Some pretty good prize money to boot, as well as a national qualifier. Lou, is there anything specific that you want to try to convey to the fans out there that's going to be different for them coming out this year as opposed to the years past? Because every year it seems there's something new. I remember when I went out there, I saw Frank Zane doing the seminar out there, which was really cool because Frank's an old school guy, 3-time Mr. Olympia.
Corey Everson, Miss Olympia.
And Rachel McClish was out there as well. What can we expect? Is there any surprises that we might have? Some prize seminars or something?
Well, we're working on surprises because I love to get Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney to come this time because, it's like I said before, when you first have the show for the first couple of years, everybody's sitting back looking. It's like you're under a microscope saying, let's see how Lou does with this competition, because we have a lot of negativity out there, but what's happening is that the show now is speaking for itself and becoming so successful that we are going to have surpassed everything. We want to be the Arnold Classic eventually, and then down the road franchise. But like I said, the most important thing about the weekend, the fact that there will be some surprises. I can't mention it now, but the main thing is the fact that the flex pole, what's interesting about it is that it's just a great place for shopping, and plus I'm going to be there and I'm going to take the time out taking pictures with the competitor, and I want to get the personal touch. That's so important because fans want that personal touch, because I do a lot of conventions, I do a lot of speaking. It's all about that personal connection. Absolutely. That's so important, and that comes to making a connection with the fans.
And Lou is there. He's in booths. He's shaking it up with fans. He's hanging out. He's making jokes. He's having a great time. He's not on a pedestal. He's with everybody.
Absolutely.
With Lou.
The coffee.
The coffee with Lou, where Lou sat down actually with Frank Zane for a fair amount of it. And it was just right there with all the fans answering questions face to face.
Absolutely. Hands-on. It's coming in November, the 21st and 22nd. What's the website?
FerrignoLegacy.com.
And the Incredible Hulk will be in the house.
And the most important thing of all is a fair contest. We would not let any politics get involved, anything with, kissing ass, money under the table or just schmoozing. It's all about an honest placing and all about having a fair show, and we have the best judges, and we would not allow all that bullshit compared to other people.
Which is why you want to wind up in Palm Springs in November. From the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, Chris Maness, and Louis Jr., I'm Shawn Ray, MuscularDevelopment.com.